Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Digimon World 3 on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. And in this episode, after successfully escaping from the fake Byako leader and going over to Mirage Tower in order to talk to the real Byako leader, we've been sent on a quest to go find the Numemon that got us out of prison. And, well, we're back in Bullet Valley because that's where he dumped us off. So, Bullet Valley and, by extension, Dum Dum Factory, which is the area that we're going into, actually have a boatload of... Oh, right, I have to explain this. The needle glove that we equipped during last part actually has a relatively low... Ooh, got Cyclone Turbine. Dude, lots of stuff to explain. Okay, the needle glove that we got last part and equipped on Numemon actually has a significantly low chance to inflict instant death on a wild Digimon that Digimon that we're fighting. As such, we'll be keeping our at least one of the two needle gloves that we got on Numemon for the rest of the game. Hey, Numemon.
How do you know that's the same Numemon?
Yes, Nume.
Maybe it's a different one saying, oh, I see how it is. You think that just because we're all googly-eyed with Gary the Snail from SpongeBob Ice Stocks with our tongues hanging out that we're all the same. No. I'm going to leave you to your erroneous convictions about how we, the proud and prosperous Numemon...
Are you going to continue that misquote, Mr. Cloud?
Meanwhile, in Duct Room 1, after breaking the thought.
So, what's actually happening here is this Numemon is using the ventilation systems in order to scout his way around. But we, not being, not a slug, can't actually do that. So we have to, track him down to each of the areas that he ends up going to.
That trail of slime is leading us to the right place.
Unfortunately, he does not actually leave a trail of slime. You are expected to just wander around Dum Dum Factory until you encounter all the different key points that Numemon ends up in. Anyway, whilst we're doing this mandatory part of progression, I should go over what Cyclone Turbine does. Cyclone Turbine is Grapleomon's signature attack. It is a mechanical elemental multi-hit attack that does roughly 1.5/2 times as much damage as our physical attack 3 times. To be perfectly honest, a majority of the good physical skills in the game are multi-hit. Hammer Rush, Impact Rush, Cyclone Turbine, and specifically the one that people actually really like is Blade Twister. We're not going to be able to show off Blade Twister in our playthrough because we didn't go for Kodamon as a partner Digimon, so...
Oh, I'm not falling for that one, Numemon. As soon as we go into the door, there's just going to be a treasure chest and a bunch of disappointment.
Yeah... As Annotations Grid was mentioning previously, virtually every single enemy in Dum Dum Factory has got the chance to drop a relatively interesting accessory. Clockmon here can drop the Multi Crest, which will make it so that your normal attacks actually hit 3 times, but at 1/3 power for each hit. You might think that this is superfluous, but to be perfectly honest, it can actually be a really big boon against enemies that have much higher speed than you. Like, a particular boss that will be coming up to several parts from now.
Looks like Clockmon is out of time.
Yes, he is. Level 26. Woot.
Woohoo! Lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop.
So what's doing the world of Cloud as we continue to go through Dum Dum Factory?
Well, I mean, I was just telling you about my latest Magic the Gathering pre-constructed commander acquisition, and I am looking forward to giving it a spin. There's nothing like the feel of brand new Magic the Gathering cards. There's nothing quite like the smell of brand new Magic the Gathering cards. You see, the tactile and olfactory sensations will enhance the pleasure and experience of playing with a deck that I have no idea how it works.
You mentioned it's one of the Phyrexia all will be one decks. So, does it actually have any infect or poison mechanics going through it?
No, it seems to be the rebellion against the Phyrexian toxicity.
Yeah, but one of the Praetors is leading
Vanguard.
that rebellion, so
We will lead the charge and give attacking tokens, and only the ones that I control, double strike, and only during my combat step into the damage step. Whenever one or more of these tokens attacks a player, I exile the top card of my library, and during any turn that I attack with a token, I can play that card.
So you do get a bunch of these stat increasing chips whilst you're going through this, and if you want to roll, okay. As Annotations Grid is attempting to describe here, the stat boosting chips are effectively the only way to actually max out your stat totals towards the end of the game. However, doing so requires doing a bunch of saving and loading, so we're not going to use that method, mostly because it's way too fucking expensive. Hey, Andromon. Andromon does not actually drop one of the accessories, but instead he can drop an interesting weapon. He can drop the machine gun, which is a gun class weapon for Monmon.
Evade. Jeez, looks like the giant robots from Earth Defense Force.
His arms are better
robot.
designed than those are, so. I was unfortunately forgetting that I still need to actually encounter Numemon one more time before I can actually progress into this boss fight that I'm setting up for. Because we're going through two different boss fights here during this part.
And here's the first one, the High Andromon.
Yes. And he is not ready to fight us yet because we have not found Numemon the last time yet. Sorry, Pascal, that this is not the correct way to go find the Numemon. We gotta go. We do have to go. We do have to jump down that ledge.
The Rage in a Cage.
And Hagurumon. Hagurumon can drop the Metal Power 1 accessory. I don't think it's actually worth trying to farm up one of those, but it's useful if you need additional metal damage for some reason. So I've been actually watching a decent amount of Digimon Beat Break as it's coming out, which is a bit weird for me because I usually don't try to watch anime as they're releasing. But they missed an upload. They missed an episode release recently because of the holiday. So I'm waiting for the next major arc to actually happen.
Tune in after Christmas Day to see how things will end.
Well, not end, but continue, because Tomoro and Gekomon just got their champion forms. I'm waiting for Kyo to hit Ultimate, honestly, because I think that's going to be a really badass moment for me. Mostly because Kyo is hyper competent and is therefore my favorite character in the show so far. So, we have successfully started the High Andromon boss fight. Be warned, Hyandromon, despite the fact that he's not all that difficult to take down, can in fact insta-kill you because of not his normal attack, but yes, as Annotations Granite mentions here, Atomic Ray, which Hyandromon's got, has a relatively high chance of committing instant kill, instant KO. So that is something that you need to be wary of.
Cyclone Turbine!
Bang, bang,
Yeah.
and bang. Thanks to Soul Charge, Cyclone Turbine did most of his HP. Waha.
But now he's going to give it a shot for an instant KO.
No, he
But
didn't.
instead, it
He
puts
doesn't
no
actually,
damage.
He doesn't actually survive long enough to actually attempt to hit us with atomic laser, thankfully.
Ever feel like you're grinding too much in your Digimon World game?
We aren't actually grinding too much. We are actually still under-leveled for this point in the game. Believe it or not,
I find that hard to believe.
I understand that you find that hard to believe, but it's very factually the case. Believe it or not, the game fully expects us to have not necessarily megas, but very close to our first mega by the next major story beat. And we're not going to get our first mega until we're almost through the next major plot twist. Oh, well, not the next major plot twist, because the next major plot twist is going to be revolving around this Numemon. But yeah, the game realistically wants you to end around level 50, but I swear to this, virtually every single starter Digimon in the game can end the game at around level 45 if you understand how to use your TP and grinding efficiently. Hey, Numemon. Annotations Granite brought up earlier that Numemon has a chance to drop the interesting accessory, the Surge Crest, which doubles the appearance rate of items on defeated enemies.
Drop rate, for sure.
Yes, doubles the drop rate. And because of that, it's actually a really interesting accessory to have after this point in the game. However, at this point in the game, Dum Dum Factory is effectively the only place that has decent items for us to farm on enemies. So, there's no real reason for us to try and get a Surge Crest right now. There is a reason for us to have a Surge Crest later, but we will be skipping that reason because we're just going to be grinding for that item off screen anyway. Welcome to the sewers, because it's an RPG game, and every RPG game has to have a sewer section. Don't you remember, Mr. Cloud?
What are you doing in my sewers?
Kind of. Oh,
Well,
no,
of course you
someone
can't
is
see.
in a distress.
And then the camera zooms to the place where the thing is happening.
Actually, yes, it does. Well, it snaps over there, so. Hey, Warumonsemon.
Demonic teddy bear Digimon harassing
Not demonic,
people.
undead. Yes, there is a difference.
That
We
he
won't
was
get
killed
a
and
demonic
then cast in the
Monsemon until
sewers.
much later on. Shin
By
Monsemon
the
does not
powers of-
exist at this point in the timeline, so.
Much like how Lazarus was risen from the dead, Warumonsemon is now reanimated with a vengeance. Oh crap, he's huge.
He's only slightly bigger than we are, like 50%.
Suddenly I would have been terrified if I was Lisa.
Yeah. Alright, Warumonsemon, much like Hyandromon's biggest threat is actually how tanky he is. Yes, Heartbreak Attack can actually hit you for a decent amount and reduce your physical attack damage, but we've got Soul Charge, so what's going to end up happening is, even with our slightly reduced attack damage, we can, lean on Soul Charge and Cyclone Turbine in order to take down virtually all of the bosses in the game at this point.
Five Nights at Freddy's has got nothing on this monster.
No, man. Mangola's way more scary than Warumonsemon.
Kick him right in his fuzzy balls.
Well, you know, he's a puppet. He doesn't actually have testicles.
Well, not anymore, he doesn't.
Alright. In the next episode, we will successfully rescue Lisa from more Numemon, and yeah, we will continue on with our with one of our major plot twists. Be safe, everybody.
And at Rocket Rabbit Commentaries, we may discuss how video game clipping can remind you how old these games are.
Yeah, just a little bit.